The world we live in is full of baffling enigmas, stretching from lost civilizations and strange alien activities to the weirdest phenomena. Over the past century, we've seen the chilling case files of the Zodiac Killer, the eerie legends of Easter Island, and other riddles that ignore logic and shake what we think we know about science and history. So, gear up for a journey into the unexplained as we break down 15 of the most mind-blowing mysteries that still leave experts speechless. Number 15. Pasigula UFO abduction. The Pasigula incident is one of the most puzzling abduction claims. On October 11, 1973, co-workers Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker were fishing near the Pasigula River in Mississippi when they reported being taken by aliens. According to them, a glowing oval-shaped craft approached and hovered before non-human creatures with wrinkled skin and claw-like hands pulled them aboard. Inside, they underwent strange medical-like procedures before being released. Skepticism followed, but both men passed polygraph tests and stuck to their story for decades. The case gained national attention, pulling in reporters, skeptics, and UFO researchers. Despite the lack of physical evidence, the level of detail and consistency in both men's accounts over the years made it one of the most discussed UFO events in history. Hickson and Parker never profited from their claims and remained adamant about their experience until the end of their lives, cementing this case as a long-standing enigma in UFO circles. Number 14. Rango writing. Rango is the mysterious script found carved into wooden tablets on Easter Island, known locally as Rapa Nui. Believed to have emerged in the 18th or 19th century, this writing system features over 100 unique glyphs arranged in rows, often in a mirrored boustrophodon format. Despite decades of study, its meaning remains undeciphered. No key or Rosetta Stone exists to aid translation. Some scholars think it may have been a mnemonic tool to support oral tradition, while others argue it's an independent writing system, possibly influenced by earlier contact or trade. Unfortunately, much of the original material was lost or destroyed during European colonization and missionary activity, further complicating efforts to decode it. Only a few authentic Rango tablets survive today, spread across various museums worldwide. While modern software and pattern recognition have tried to crack the code, no breakthrough has come. The script remains a haunting reminder of a lost knowledge system, silent, beautiful, and unsolved. Number 13. Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac Killer stands as one of America's most notorious and unreachable serial killers. He tormented Northern California throughout the late 1960s and early 1970s, known for his eerie letters and a twisted mind game with the police. He claimed to have killed 37 people, though only 5 deaths are officially verified. But killing is killing. His first confirmed attack was on December 20th, 1968, when Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were shot near Vallejo. On July 4th, 1969, he targeted Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau. Mageau survived and described the attacker. The Zodiac became infamous for sending taunting letters to newspapers, often filled with cryptic ciphers. One of these, sent in 3 parts, was solved by a teacher and his wife, revealing a disturbing statement about enjoying murder. Despite a detailed sketch and dozens of suspects, the Zodiac was never caught. Arthur Lee Allen remained the most suspected, but DNA evidence never matched. He died in 1992, and the case remains officially unsolved. Number 12. Beal Ciphers. The Beal Ciphers are among the most intriguing code-based mysteries in U.S. history. They consist of 3 encrypted texts, allegedly revealing the location of a buried treasure containing gold, silver, and jewels. In the early 1800s, Thomas J. Beal and his pals supposedly found this hoard in the Rocky Mountains. To protect the secret, Beal left 3 ciphers in a locked box with a friend, Robert Morris, instructing him to open it if he didn't return within 10 years. Beal vanished, and decades later, Morris opened the box, but couldn't decipher the codes. One of the ciphers was eventually decoded using the Declaration of Independence as a key, revealing a brief description of the treasure's contents. However, the remaining two remain unsolved. Despite years of attempts by code breakers and treasure hunters, no trace of the fortune has ever surfaced. Whether a real puzzle or just a hoax, the Beal ciphers still spark obsession and debate. Number 11. Disappearance of Harold Hol. The disappearance of Harold Hol, Australia's Prime Minister in 1967, remains one of the country's most baffling mysteries. On December 17th, Holt went for a swim at Cheviot Beach near Melbourne, an area he was familiar with and known to enjoy. Despite being a strong swimmer, Holt vanished in the surf and was never seen again. The search that followed was massive, involving the Royal Australian Navy, Air Force, police, and civilian volunteers. Not a trace was found. No body, no clothing, no personal items. That vacuum of answers fueled countless theories, from accidental drowning to CIA involvement, secret escape plots, or even alien abduction. Despite all the speculation, the official stance remains that he likely drowned in dangerous conditions. In his memory, several locations were named after him, including the Harold Hol Memorial Swimming Center, in a touch of strange irony. Decades later, Holt's vanishing act remains one of Australia's most enduring unsolved political events. Number 10. Shugborough Inscription. The Shugborough Inscription is a puzzling code etched onto the Shepherd's Monument in the gardens of Shugborough Hall, Staffordshire, England. The sequence, DOUOSVAVVM, has remained unsolved since its creation in the mid-18th century. The monument itself is based on the painting The Shepherds of Arcadia by Nicolas Poussin, a work often tied to esoteric theories and hidden meanings. Commissioned by Thomas Anson, the monument includes a marble relief and a string of letters carved beneath it. Scholars, historians, and amateur sleuths have tried for generations to crack its meaning. Some believe the letters conceal clues to the location of the Holy Grail, linking it to the Knights Templar legends. Others think it's a love message, a Masonic riddle, or even an elaborate joke. Despite attempts by expert cryptographers and novelists alike, no one has cracked the code. The inscription still stands, a carved question mark in stone that continues to defy interpretation. Number 9. The Haunted Hut. Winding through the rugged Amina-Osuk Ravine Trail, hikers heading toward the Lake of the Clouds hut often encounter more than just dramatic alpine views. Built atop Mount Washington in 1901 after 2 hikers perished in brutal weather, this hut has long carried a reputation for eerie encounters. One chilling account involved an AMC staffer assigned to open the hut for the season. He was later discovered cowering beneath a sink, paralyzed by fear. He claimed disembodied faces surrounded him, trapping him in place. Others say mocking the mountain's dead never ends well. Several hikers have reported being shoved by unseen forces, while unattended boots tend to vanish entirely. Some visitors even nail their shoes to the wall to stop them from disappearing. So, with ghosts obviously being just stories, what exactly terrified that staffer under the sink? And who, or what, is pushing people around and stealing shoes in a place this remote? Number 8. Oklahoma's Bermuda Triangle. Beaver Dunes Park may be a scenic spot of rolling sand hills, but it's also home to one of the state's strangest legends, Oklahoma's Bermuda Triangle. Stories of vanishing people date back to the 1500s, when Spanish explorer Francisco Coronado lost several men to the dunes, despite being warned by native tribes about the dangers. Coronado reportedly ignored the caution, and his men were never found. Fast forward a few centuries, and more disappearances emerged. In 1897, a pioneer woman vanished. In 1987, a tourist followed. Neither was ever located. Some believe a portal, nicknamed the Shaman's Portal, is hidden beneath the sands, while others suspect the area hides the remains of a crashed UFO. Reports of military personnel seen digging at night only deepen the mystery. Whatever's going on out there, Beaver Dunes isn't just another nature trail. It's a place where people go missing, and questions far outnumber answers. Number 7. The Mystery of the White Bird. Everyone knows the Amelia Earhart story, but few have heard of the White Bird. In 1927, French aviators Charles Nungesser and François Colli attempted the first non-stop transatlantic flight. Their aircraft, L'Oiseau Blanc, or the White Bird, took off from Paris bound for New York. They vanished en route, presumed lost in the Atlantic. But over time, clues pointed elsewhere. Maine farmer Harold Vining claimed to hear a low-flying plane during thick fog, the very day the White Bird went missing. A hermit nearby heard engine trouble followed by a crash. In 1958, a hunter named Arthur Dolan found wreckage deep in the woods and, years later, realized it resembled the missing plane. He searched again, but could never find the spot. Though Dolan remained convinced of what he saw, the aircraft's remains were never confirmed. Nearly a century later, the fate of the White Bird remains unsolved and possibly hidden somewhere in the Maine wilderness. Number 6. The Disappearance of Spain's Child Prodigy. In 1987, 13-year-old David Guerrero was already earning national praise in Malaga's art world. Nicknamed the Child Painter, he was set to display his work publicly for the first time at the prestigious La Maison Gallery. But on April 6th, after leaving home to attend an interview, David vanished. He was meant to meet his father afterward, but never arrived. The hours ticked by, and when neither the gallery nor his family had seen him, panic set in. A massive investigation followed. Authorities chased every lead, including bizarre tips from psychics and reports of sightings, but none provided answers. It took 29 years for David to be officially declared dead, yet no evidence has surfaced to explain his disappearance. How does a teenage artist, steps from a career breakthrough, vanish without any trace? And even decades later, despite searches, media attention, and heartbreak, David Guerrero remains a tragic, unanswered mystery in Spanish history. Number 5. Cuba's HM01 number station. Cuba's HM01 number station has baffled shortwave radio enthusiasts and intelligence analysts alike. Broadcasting since 2012, it sends strange coded messages over U.S. airwaves, believed by many to be covert instructions for Cuban operatives overseas. Unlike typical number stations, HM01 mixes voice transmissions in Spanish with bursts of digital noise. The broadcasts repeat regularly and originate near the same location as Radio Havana, suggesting this isn't random chatter. What makes it weirder? During technical glitches, listeners have identified telltale sounds from outdated Windows XP systems, hinting that the station still runs on old software. Despite its crude setup, the signal persists, consistent and intentional. While governments remain tight-lipped, many experts believe HM01 is part of an ongoing espionage effort. Its cryptic content, combined with its persistence, continues to spark curiosity and paranoia. Even in an age of satellites and encrypted apps, Cuba's low-tech signal still beams out its secrets. Number 4. Agatha Christie's Vanishing Act. In 1926, Agatha Christie, already one of Britain's most celebrated mystery authors, suddenly disappeared after her husband admitted to having an affair and demanded a divorce. Her car was later found abandoned near a chalk quarry, with a few personal belongings still inside. The search that followed was massive. Thousands of volunteers, bloodhounds, and even fellow authors joined the hunt. Rumors exploded. Some suspected she had staged the disappearance for publicity, while others believed she was trying to frame her husband for murder. 11 days later, Christie was found alive at the Old Swan Hotel in Harrogate, registered under the name Mrs. Teresa Neal, the surname of her husband's mistress. Doctors diagnosed her with amnesia. Christie never spoke publicly about those missing days again. Whether it was stress, trauma, or a calculated escape, no one ever truly uncovered what happened during that time. Nearly a century later, her unexplained disappearance remains one of literature's most puzzling real-life mysteries. Number 3. Wisconsin's Manbat. Well, this is creepy. In September 2006, a father and son encountered something terrifying while driving down Briggs Road in Wisconsin. As they navigated the dark stretch, their headlights caught sight of a massive winged figure charging toward them. Paralyzed by shock, they braced for impact, only for the creature to unleash a deafening screech and soar into the sky just before reaching their vehicle. In the days following, both men fell ill with unexplained symptoms, including severe nausea that lasted for a week. They described the creature as having enormous wings, glowing yellow eyes, and razor-sharp teeth, earning it the nickname Manbat, or the Beast of Briggs Road. Their story was later included in several books focused on Wisconsin's paranormal folklore. No one has offered a solid explanation for what they saw, and no similar creature has been captured or officially identified. Whether it was a hallucination, a cryptid, or something else entirely, the Manbat sighting still lingers in Wisconsin's stranger tales. Number 2. The Druid of Roman-era Colchester. In 1996, archaeologists unearthed a curious burial near Colchester, Essex, dating back to around 40 to 60 CE. Inside the wooden chamber, they found the skeleton of a man surrounded by an odd mix of items. Surgical tools like scalpels and needles sewn into a cloak, along with mugwort, a jet bead, polished metal rods, and even what looked like a Roman-style chessboard. The objects immediately sparked debate. The medical gear suggested he could have been a physician practicing during Roman Britain's occupation, but the presence of sacred herbs and ritualistic items led others to believe he may have been a Druid, a member of the ancient Celtic spiritual elite known for their knowledge of nature and healing. With little written evidence about British Druids, aside from the Roman historian Tacitus, interpreting artifacts like these remains difficult. Whether the man was a healer, spiritual guide, or something that blended both worlds remains uncertain. Number 1. Oak Island Money Pit. The Oak Island Money Pit has captivated treasure hunters and mystery chasers for over 200 years. Off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, the island gained attention in 1795 when 3 young boys spotted a strange circular dip in the ground. Curious, they started digging and discovered layers of oak logs placed precisely at intervals, triggering the name Money Pit. As they dug deeper, they ran into strange traps, flood tunnels and booby traps hinting at intentional engineering. Later searches uncovered even more puzzling clues. Carved stones with bizarre symbols, coconut fibers, and pieces of gold chain, all pointing to something valuable buried far below. Over the years, countless expeditions have tried to solve the mystery, using high-end drilling tools and even draining the pit. But every attempt has been stopped by collapses, flooding, or conflicting findings. Despite all the effort, no treasure has ever been found. Only more questions. If you've enjoyed this video, well, be sure to like it, share it, and hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.